Oh my God. You thought you had a man. You thought you had a friend. Oh, you set up in church. This is my year.
Remember when everybody was like 2020 the year of perfect vision? And what did we get? A whole doggone pandemic. Nobody saw that coming, now did they?
I've been just existing. I haven't been executing and showing up in my life. A lot of times we like to be the big fish in the small pond.
I don't think we're ever meant to just toil
and
get no results. If you're not getting results, something is not working.
We love to lean to our own understanding
because we think we got it.
It doesn't require faith. If you're in a season where things are shifting and things are ending and you're evolving, this episode, this one right here is for you.
Now y'all know anybody can call you a friend, but not everybody shows up. So if you're down with the big connection, Friendship University is the place to be, to learn, to grow, to laugh and build your community. Don't wait another minute, we're about to start. Don't listen and listen, cause we're coming from the heart. Grab a break, grab a pen, cause we're back again. With the laugh and the lesson, sit down cause class is in session.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Friendship University Podcast, the number one podcast for teaching you how to get the friendships you truly want. We are back another week. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Tara.
And welcome to, our returning listeners, and we have new subscribers.
Welcome.
Round of applause, everyone. Welcome. We're so happy that you're taking some time. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend.
We back.
We back. Another week. Looking awesome as ever, always.
I love this dress. This is a look.
Thank you. I appreciate this. It's a black designer. I can't remember the name, but
I love it.
I really like the print. I like a good print.
Yes, you're wearing prints this season. I love it.
And blue is my favorite color. So
me too.
Yes. So
for sure.
Pretty in blue, like pretty in pink, but. In blue. It didn't roll off the tongue the same
way.
You
know what? It don't matter. You look. The look is give. It don't matter. Somebody look good. Sometimes it don't matter what they had said. It don't matter.
Well, you all, we're about to hop over to Friendship Court, so we'll see you in just a bit. Welcome back. We are now in Friendship Court with the Honorable Judge Tara presiding over us today. How are you today, Judge?
I'm doing wonderful, and I'm excited for this next case. Let's get going.
Let's get into it, Judge. I've got an interesting one for you. We have a me versus me situation. Plaintiff Nikki is charging herself with failure to move on and start anew. The plaintiff, Nikki, is charging the defendant herself with the need to move on and start building new friendships. See, Nikki had a best friend for over 20 years. Someone she says was not just a friend, but was her person. They grew up together and shaped each other, and Nikki notes that every version of herself had her in it. Nikki admits that there was a time when she genuinely believed losing her would be the worst thing that could ever happen to her. But she hurt her in a way that she feels something broke on the inside. Nikki says this is not just in terms of how she now sees her friend, but how she sees people in general. Ever since then, Nikki has been scared to form close friendship because she feels she simply can't trust anyone anymore. She says there are days where it hits her so hard she can't even breathe, and she often feels like it's just missing a person and it's missing a version of her life that doesn't exist anymore. At the same time, she's so angry with her friend and she feels completely lost. They enjoyed doing everything together, and without her, routines, interests, and life experiences just now feel empty. She doesn't go out and she really just doesn't do anything anymore. She's just really scared this has changed her permanently and that she will never be able to trust someone enough to have that kind of friendship again. Nikki states she just doesn't know how to rebuild after losing something that felt like a part of her identity. She just doesn't know where to start. Judge, your ruling on this one. This is a doozy. I'm going to hand it over to you.
especially since it's the same person as the plaintiff
Me
and the
versus
defendant.
me.
I'm gonna have to think long and hard about this one.
Okay.
Harder. Yeah. It sounds like she's suffering from a broken heart. She had a bad experience, but we know here at Friendship University that we understand that life can life and things can happen, but we hold ourselves accountable, and we find the will. We go to God and we find the will to get back up again. Get back up again. Get back up again. And so it's important that she really takes a look in the mirror. And so I'm going to have to charge her with being guilty.
You heard it here.
Of not moving forward in her life. Now, there is a time and a season for everything. There's a time to grieve. There's a time for reflection. But at some point, we're going to have to
get back up again.
Get back up again. And so I need her to take a look in the mirror, give herself a pep talk, and understand that it is okay to grieve. And yes, people can hold a special place in your life, but they cannot be the source of your strength. Mm-hmm. They cannot dictate how you move forward for the remainder of your life. You're going to have to accept the fact that they were meant to be a part of your life, but they're not the end of your story. And so she's going to have to, I'm going to send it to her to take that look in the mirror, have that conversation with herself. And honestly, I think she may need to have a conversation with that friend, and just, forgive and accept and move forward. And so I sentenced her to watch this episode of Friendship University about starting over. And I don't want to see you back here in Friendship Court again. Court is adjourned. Now it's time to take out the trash. Take out the trash. Take out the trash right now. Take out the trash. Take out the trash. Trash. You better take out the trash. Trash. Take out the trash right now.
This is the part of class where we talk about the real life things that we have done to clean up the mess in our own lives. What you got for us this week, Doc?
I'm trying to get myself together over here. Okay. Now, this is something that has really helped me at a time that was like a really terrible time in my life. I was going through a very hard time emotionally. And this is something that I didn't want to do, but it was best for me to do. And we've kind of talked about this before, but I'm going to present it in a kind of a new way. I would say that something that you can do to improve your quality of life in a myriad of different ways is to move your body.
Move it or lose it.
Move it or lose it. Motion. Get your body in motion daily. Mm-hmm. So, and this daily movement in the forms of different forms, whether that's stretching, dancing, going for walks, running, jogging, playing kickball, playing softball, playing volleyball, intramural sports, playing basketball, playing dodgeball, whatever gets you moving. It improves your physical and mental health by increasing, number one, your cardiovascular endurance, strengthening your bones, muscles, enhancing your balance, and moving cognitive function. Okay. It is so important that every day we move and help our bodies to build this stamina with intensity. It can lower our blood pressure. and strengthen our flexibility. When you don't move, you're going to get stiff. You have to move your body. You cannot just live this sedentary lifestyle and think that your body is going to be happy. It's just not. And so one of the things that I really love, it also improves your weight management. That can improve your self-esteem, makes you feel good about your body and yourself. When you look in the mirror, it helps with your coordination, right? As we age, we can lose that coordination. And like you said, if you don't use it, you will lose it, you know? And so one of the big things I use for the reason why I move my body daily is stress reduction. Like it really does release stress, even if that's going to the gym or playing an intramural sport or dancing, which I really, really love, because it's something about that cardio, really getting your heart rate up and sweating, that gives you a body high. It releases endorphins that combat those stress hormones and brings them down. And so it really can also help your cognitive function, right? Like how you're able to think. Once your mind is more clear, it gets rid of like that noise, that mental noise. And it really can improve your mood. And I know that when I started taking up dance after, going through some hard times, I found that it also increased my self-esteem and helped me become more comfortable in my own body. So, as someone who has to be on camera and has to, be comfortable with myself, being on stages and being in front of people, like you have to be comfortable with yourself.
Yeah.
And even, especially being on camera, if you have to take pictures and all of that, you really have to become, adjusted to how your body looks and how you feel, and like, or it's going to come across as very awkward. Like you're going to look on camera, right? And you're a photographer as well. So, so you will be able to see this person looks awkward. This person looks uncomfortable. This person looks like they don't like being here. And so the only way to overcome that is to practice. And when you're dancing in front of the mirror, or you are, at your workout classes, or you're doing something, it forces you to become uniquely educated about yourself, in a way which you haven't done before. And so if you struggle with like self-esteem, if you struggle with being comfortable in your own skin, with your own body, I would implore you to you don't have to do no hip hop dance or nothing, but I would implore you to take some kind of dance class to help you get more comfortable with yourself or move your body in different ways. And so I love that it's able to help you enjoy that as well. So many times we do things and we just hate it, and have this bad attitude about it the whole time. And it's like, it's so weird that you could find yourself looking in the mirror, watching your body move and enjoying it. As opposed to being in the mirror criticizing yourself all the time. It's like, I don't like how this looks, and I don't like my hair, and I don't like my body, and I don't like my shoes, and I don't like my toes, and I don't like my nose. And it's just like, I didn't mean for that to sound like Dr. Seuss. In a tree, on the train, in the rain, you know what I'm saying? So, but truly, it's like, helps you to see yourself in a way where you're having more positivity. You're enjoying yourself. You're making fun of yourself. You're not taking it too seriously. It's not like, oh my God, I didn't get the step right. Who cares? We're having a good time. Like, so what? If they don't like it, I look stupid to y'all. Bump y'all. This is not for y'all. This is for me. And so you'll see yourself improve. And so I like to see people's journeys where they start like day one of me going to ballet at 40 years old, and I always wanted to do this and that. And it's just like, man, you just did something for you, that really added value to your life as a hobby, something you enjoy. And I'm such a big advocate for having hobbies that you enjoy that are healing for you versus, I go out and drink 5 drinks and and then I spent my money and tomorrow I feel like, I feel terrible. Or, I did a substance or you know what I'm saying? Like, or I was with people that had fun but weren't edifying to my life. So I'm really big on having things happen in your life that add value and that challenge you.
Yeah.
Like you've never done this step before. You've never done this, and it might be hard, but then when you finally get it, it's like, oh my, I can't believe I did that. I would have never done that.
Like a satisfaction.
Yes, like a satisfaction. So it's just like challenging, moving your body, doing an interview, a sport, learning a dance, all these type of things, or working up to a certain weight. Or working up to I ran 5 miles. This time I ran 10 miles, I ran 20 miles, or one day I'll do a marathon, whatever. It challenges you. And when you face a challenge and you set a challenge for yourself and then you meet it, that builds confidence in you. Absolutely. Because you kept a promise to yourself.
Kept a promise, yeah.
And so that builds confidence that, man, next time I can do that, because last time I was able to achieve this. So I really love that. So I encourage you guys to move your bodies. If you are really struggling with being comfortable with yourself, I would encourage you to take a dance class.
That makes sense. I can totally see that. I enjoy seeing those stories too on social media, like me using my free will to take gymnastics at 40. Learn how to tumble.
You have choices, and the people, you don't have to be scared. What if somebody looks at me? What if I look at them? You looking at me, I'm looking at you, looking at me, looking at you. And
what about it? I love that. Yes, get out, dance around your house.
Yes, you could just start with a YouTube video and follow the YouTube video, and then you could work your way up to a real live class. Maybe you don't have to, but yeah, absolutely.
I love that.
And if your kids make fun of you, make fun of them. No, just checking.
Nah, they need to learn.
Go
ahead. We want to play the dozens. Let's do it. But yes, I love that. Well, we're gonna see you soon in the main discussion.
Classes in session.
Today's episode is for anyone that feels like they're in a season of transition.
Today we're talking about starting over and what it really looks like,
what it requires, and why it can feel so doggone uncomfortable, but also necessary.
Today's lesson. All right, you all. So we're talking about starting over. And no, that's not glamorous a lot of times. It can often feel the opposite of exciting. It can feel scary, uncomfortable, as we said, because you just don't know what's going to happen. You can start over in a lot of ways.
Ooh, get back up again.
That's the reoccurring thing right here.
It is. You got to start off.
You have to sometimes let go of people. You have to walk away from old habits and start over. Teach yourself new things. You sometimes have to start over with rebuilding your confidence. Sometimes you have to you move. You maybe get a new job. You have to move to a totally new city where you don't know anybody. Trying something new for the first time. We just talked about like dancing and moving your body. That could even feel like intimidating, or maybe you used to dance and you haven't done it in years, and it could feel like I'm starting from scratch all over again. It could really, make you feel like maybe you're not ready, or you don't know what to do or how to pick the pieces up and put your life back together again.
It can literally, and I can attest to this. Because this has been my story. It can feel like losing everything that's familiar to you. Like, have you ever has God ever taken you through a process where you just stripped me bare? Like, no, is anything left?
What else are you going to take?
Job. I feel like Job in the Bible lost everything.
Except the shirt off my back. Is that going next?
It's gone. Oh my God.
Yeah, I feel that.
You set up in church. This is my year on January 1st. It wasn't.
And by January 31st,
everything was gone. You thought you had a man. You thought you had a friend. You thought you had everything gone.
Remember when everybody was like 2020 the year of perfect vision? And what did we get? A whole doggone pandemic. Nobody saw that coming, now did they?
You thought, baby. But let me tell you something. In reality, you might be stepping into everything that God has for you. But baby, let me tell you something about that. Sometimes he got to take you through a process. So if you're in a season where things are shifting and things are ending and you're evolving, this episode, this one right here, is for you.
That's right you. There. Fire. So what does starting over really look like? Mm-hmm. You did that intro amazing because it can look bare. You're stripped bare. Like,
blowing in the wind.
Where is it? There's nothing and no one around. I can't see anything for miles. It's mirages.
You ever seen them old westerns? They walk in the town and everything just is anybody. It's a ghost town. It's a ghost town, bruh.
But we have to really start looking at. Sometimes we can ask for things, and the cost could mean starting over. You don't see
it's the
that.
dress. The dresses.
You don't see. You don't see that when you ask for it.
But you had sang one of the worship songs. Even me, Lord.
You had said, "Holy fire,
burn away,"
and he did just that. Burnt everything away.
Burn it up.
But
refine
as fire. It can look like leaving a job or a career path, which I want to say, I feel like within the last 7 to 8 years, we've seen a lot of that, a lot, especially our generation, millennials, really saying, I don't want to be at this job 40 and 50 years. No shade, no disrespect. I appreciate, my parents laying a foundation and doing what they had to do and having that career and taking care of us. But a lot of us were like, I don't see myself doing this for the next 20 years. Maybe you went to school for something. Maybe, you went to a certain profession because you felt pressure to it. And then you got into it and was like, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. Yeah. So walking away and starting over in that realm. Ending relationships or friendships. I personally you think this is the person I'm going to be with for the rest of my life. And the Lord is like, no. Yikes. You thought starting over from that. Letting go of old versions of yourself, grieving that.
Yes, absolutely. Or it can be more internal, changing your mindset, or changing your habits. You're used to showing up a certain way on your job, and God is beckoning you or calling you to act as a leader. And you're just used to getting your check and going home.
Talk about it. Can I just clock in and clock out? Why I got to leave?
God is really calling you to be a leader. You know what I'm saying? He's really calling you to express his personality as someone who thinks about and serves others.
Yeah. And
we so quick to complain about other people.
Oh, man.
And quick to complain about the leader. They need to do this and they need to do that. And God is like, well, if you know all that, then why don't you do it?
What? You do it.
And it's so easy to talk about what needs to do it.
It's easier to see something and
than to actually do that. But we so want to run from what God called us to do and what God called us to be. And maybe this time, starting over is starting with a new mindset that I'm not going to be the person that sit back and just lets life happen to me. I'm going to be a son of God, a child of God, a daughter of God, and I'm going to start leading. And I'm as part of my purpose.
Yeah, I'm no longer going to let my thoughts run me.
Right.
I'm going to change that mindset. I'm
Yeah.
going to start taking a more active role.
Yeah. So starting over isn't always just external, right? It starts internal. It starts with that mindset change where God's like, I didn't create you to be that. This is how you're functioning, but I never made you to be that. Like, I really made you to be, this in your life.
You ever had one of those moments where it's just like you get the urge to just reset everything
Bruh.
in the middle of the night or the middle of the day? It's like, you know what? Enough. I'm resetting this entire house.
Yeah.
I'm resetting everything. Or you like, oh, I feel like doing my whole, ladies, I don't know, the maintenance shower where you have to do everything all at once. Like, ooh, time to do that.
It's time to reorient myself.
Yeah.
It's time to this is gonna sound funny, but Vicky Winans used to have a song called "Shake Yourself Loose."
I don't know
She used to
that
say,
one.
"Shake yourself loose." I don't know if y'all remember that, but
I don't remember.
yes, it's like I've been just existing.
Ooh.
I haven't been executing and showing up in my life. I've just been taking it and just existing and floating and just allowing. I haven't really gotten with God and gotten a strategy and gotten a plan and saying, all right, we're going to chart this destiny. Yeah. We're going to chart this new territory. We're going after the stuff that we feel like we were born to do. Yeah. Instead, I've just been kind of just letting life happen. Man,
just going with the flow.
Yes.
Really. And truthfully.
Yes, going with the flow.
That is so true. You can just go with the flow and let life happen. I think one of the hardest parts of starting over, especially when maybe you weren't necessarily going with the flow, but you had an idea for your life and it turned out that was not God's best for you or God's vision for you.
Just admitting that you had thought that was it. And that was not it.
It could be painful. And so it can make one of the hardest parts of starting over, which is letting go.
Yes.
Letting go of who you used to be, letting go of what didn't work.
Ooh, okay. Can we pause? It's not working. It's not working.
You have tried it 50 different ways.
You keep trying.
It's
not working.
It's not working.
And you gotta go to God and be like, this is not working. And sometimes God will let you bust your head on the wall and keep hitting it until you wake up and you ask him. Mm-hmm. Because he can't override your will. Yeah. You have to ask him. You know what I'm saying? You gotta allow him to be involved. That's what prayer is. Mm-hmm. Is getting him involved in your situation. And so sometimes you just doing you and you're not even asking God, is this what you want me to do? Yeah. It's not working and I'm struggling and I'm having a problem. And I can only say this because I've been here. And it's like, I know I've got the talent. Mm-hmm. I know I've got what it takes because I'm watching such and such do it. And they really not better than me. This is not a slight to them, but it's like they're moving forward and I'm not. And it's not because they are better than me. Yeah. It's because maybe this is not what I'm supposed to be doing or I'm in the wrong location or what. So I have to stop and ask God, like, what's going on?
What's the hindrance?
What's
going on? Why am I not progressing forward? Because I don't think we're ever meant to just toil and get no results. Yes. If you're not getting results, something is not working. Yes. So, letting go of that can be hard. Mm-hmm. Sometimes that can also, as you said, being in the wrong place, it can also be involved being in wrong people. Maybe it's not working because you got to let go and start over and find a new community and a new circle because I can't release this with these people around here. They're going to devour it like the cankerworm. My God. And that could also be tough.
My God. That is not easy. But listen, sometimes this is a preach.
Sometimes season.
Listen, sometimes growth requires separation. Sometimes God got to get you alone by yourself and pull you away and have some conversation. I said like my niece used to say, a conversation with you. Okay, think about.
Can we just pause there? I don't want to say sometimes. There is going to be a time in your life, if you are hearing to the call on your life, at some point you're gonna be separated. I just gotta keep it real with you. You think you might have thought your whole life you done got out of it.
My God.
And then bam.
He like, enough is enough. Sit down.
I
got to talk
All
to
right,
you.
pack it up. Move. Now you're moving across the state. You're done.
You're done. Like, just like plants, right? If you have plants and everything, or you kind of see how plants grow, sometimes those plants have to be pruned, okay? If they're going to bear fruits, they have to, the pruning looks like cutting off a lot of the plant and a lot of the shrub, and even some of it you think it looks good, it's growing, but it has to be pruned back and cut back so it can grow even the more. And if you are wanting more growth, sometimes that looks like letting go, getting rid, being stripped down of the things. Oh, this gonna mess y'all up. The things that you think you need.
Ooh.
You thought you needed that, right? And you thought that made you. You thought that job was your identity. Yeah. You thought that made you who you were. You thought that friend group was like what you needed to be successful, when actually they might have not been a catalyst. They might have been a cage, and God knows what you need to move to the next level. And sometimes he got to take you out that situation to bring you into something new. So if you feel like things are falling off your life, that might not be loss. It might be preparation for where God is taking you.
Wow. Can we talk about it? You thought joining that organization was going to propel you to the next level. Maybe not so. Not so. You cannot step into a new season holding on to the older version of yourself. It's like trying to get on a plane carrying unnecessary cargo and weight. You have to get rid of what you don't need. Yeah. When you're sailing, sailors carry what they need because the ship does not need to be overweight. You're going to get into tumultuous waters. So you carry just enough of what you need, the cargo. Anything extra could be detrimental to you. It could mean crashing. It could mean not making it to your destination. Yeah. So if you're starting over, one of the first questions that would be really, really helpful for you to ask is, what is God calling you to do? What is he trying to get your attention to pay more attention to for you? So that's not, a lot of times it's not going to be what's trending. And it probably ain't even going to be what you want to hear. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to just be honest about that. You probably not going to hear it, but you need to hear it for your calling. So you really want to focus in on what you are uniquely designed to do by God, not what everyone else is doing.
Listen, there are many times in the Bible God had to call people out where they were comfortable and into something new. Okay, I'll take, for example, this is one of my favorite Bible stories because I understand him. Gideon, he was scary. Listen, this man, he's like, I'm not from the best family and the best tribe. Okay, like I'm working with what I'm working with, but God is like, comes to him while he's doing his thing, and he's like, you mighty man of valor. And he like, who you talking to? You ain't talking to me, because I'm just on here, trying to get my life together. And God's like, no, you mighty man in valor. I caused you to lead my children, lead Israel up against, this nation to deliver them. Yeah. And sometimes when God calls you to do something, it is going to look asinine. It's going to look crazy.
It's going to borderline look impossible sometimes.
And that is because he wants the glory and not you. And so if you try to do it in your own strength, anything, when you did, let me help you understand something about God. He's not going to give you instruction that allows you to get the glory and for you to accomplish it without him. Whatever he tells you to do, you're going to need him to do it. You're going to need his strength. You're going to need his strategy. You're going to need his boldness. You're going to need his courage. And so, God has a plan for you. God has a unique purpose for you. And that's not random. He didn't just make this up. You were like,
like an afterthought.
No, you were born to fulfill a purpose. You were born for a specific reason and for a specific assignment. And we see that in the book of Esther. God said, she thought she was just going into the palace,
Plucked her from everything she knew.
Everything she knew, and sent her through this process. And she ends up, by God's divine design, becoming chosen to be the queen of that kingdom, and to King Xerxes. And so it's
eventually saving her people.
Yes. And so, when that time happened and she was coming up, I think it was the Ammonites, but they kind of set the Jews up to be exterminated and nobody really understood that she was a Jew. She was scared to go before the king, and her uncle said, Mordecai says, listen, God's going to deliver his people. But if you don't do it, he'll use somebody else, and he'll do it from another way. But who's to say that you weren't given this position for such a time as this? For such a time as this. And so, so there is something that you were set aside to do. And so if Esther hadn't allowed that process to take forth and to take place, she wouldn't have been in position to show up and deliver. God used her to deliver all those people. And so sometimes your process and the things God has you to do does not make sense to you. But it's really for a special, unique task. And so you just got to trust God with that process.
Yeah. And it's like, you could probably be wondering, how do you actually figure this out? And we oftentimes go back to it. Prayer. You seek God. You commune with him. You spend time in his word. Intentionally, because you want to learn his voice. You want to learn what he says about you, why he's calling you to do certain things. And I think a lot of times we can look at starting over as a setback, but it really can be a blessing.
A setup. It's
a setup. It's a setup to lead you into better. It could be taking you out of the situation you felt comfortable in, and you thought this was life, but this is really not it.
Yeah. And it's so crazy because in the game of life, it's
live.
They used to have this old song we sing growing up, and it said the safest place in the whole wide world is in the will of God. And so you can try to set yourself up for success and say, oh, okay, I'm going to get this job, or I'm going to go into this career field. And you think you doing your thing.
Yeah.
But God knows what's coming. And if you listen to him, he might tell you to go right when everybody's going left. And only he knows that what's going left is going to end. That company, God might tell you, hey, leave this company. I want you to go over here and start your own company. Blase. And you're like, God, I can't do it. I ain't gonna be able to do it. And God's like, you're gonna do it, and God, and it's not leaving you. And it's like, God, I can't do it. It's crazy out here right now. I can't do it. Lo and behold, you don't know that when you leave, you leave on a good note. You leave with all your stuff intact, and you're able to pull the money that you need from all the money. You don't know when they close a company 3 months later, none of those people getting that money.
Under.
It's just going under. So you were able to get your money out when the other people aren't, before you know the hope of coming. That's the type of stuff God does. You understand what I'm saying? And so when you follow him, sometimes it's not going to make sense, sometimes it's going to be scary, but you can believe that he will not fail you, he will not abandon you, he will keep you. Not it might look like a little process, you might go through some things, it might be some things you're going to have to let go, but anything, the Bible says, if you leave house or home or anything for my sake, I will restore it. I will restore it. You will receive 100-fold in this life. That's Bible. So it's just important that you follow him.
Yeah. You
follow him even when it looks crazy. And the Bible says, if you don't understand something, it says any man, the best thing for you is to ask God for his wisdom. You're like, Lord, I hear you saying this, help me understand. And the Bible says that he will give you wisdom. Any man that lacks wisdom, let him ask God, and he will give it to you generously. Clarity comes from connection with God. And sometimes that means you cannot look at what other people doing and follow them. And this is the latest trend, and this is the latest, scheme, and this is what everybody doing this, and everybody getting PPP loans, and and scamming.
Now you're in jail.
And now you're in jail. And so it's just like, you really gotta follow God. You can't just be doing what everybody else is doing. You gotta do what God called you to do, because if God calls you to do it, he will protect you in it. He really will.
That's the bottom line about it. You acting outside of his will is lack of protection, really, and you're really just setting yourself up. And the longer that you try to ignore it and wait as he's trying to pluck you out, the harder it becomes, because you continue to build into something that's not for you.
You said something. Friend. Here's the thing. This is what I learned this season. Some things are time sensitive.
Yeah.
God might be telling you to do something, and on you, there's an urgency on you, because there's a window of opportunity that God is opening the door, and you got to move on it.
And let me tell you, as someone who did not move and has seen it,
same.
And you be like,
failed that test, won't fail it again in Jesus'
You won't get me again. Stop. Only had to learn that lesson one time.
Yeah, we can hesitate and call it, I'm just being, I'm being
cautious or trying to set myself up.
You're in disobedience.
You're in disobedience.
And you might miss your opportunity, your window. And some things you might not get another chance.
Yeah.
You might, and it might not come back around.
Which is a tough pill sometimes.
Yeah, and the promises of God, they come up, and you could take it or you could leave it. And so I want to help you understand that when God called you to do something and give you a window, you gotta move.
You have to move.
And that is why you gotta be honed in the secret place. On the backside with nobody around, God build your confidence, build your confidence, build your confidence. So when you get that opportunity, you step up. Like David was by himself. He was with the sheep, and he was killing the lions and the bears, and he was building his confidence, and he was spending time with God. He was alone. A lot of times it felt like rejection because his brothers wasn't really messing with him. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't checking for him. And so he spent a lot of time alone.
Just a little shepherd boy.
Yep. And God was building his confidence. So now when it comes, the opportunity presents itself, he has this confidence. He has this courage. He has this,
like this fearlessness,
because he was developed, in a dark season. And so sometimes, I know it feels like, man, this sucks. My life is sucking right now. Like, my life, it ain't what I thought. I'm separated from everybody. I feel like God stripped me. He moved me. He isolated me in a way for some things, but God is preparing you. And a lot of times you can't be distracted, running here and there and doing this and that. And every time somebody call you, hey, let's go out, you go out. No, God is trying to do something that's never been done in your whole family before. Nobody in your family is doing what God is trying to do in you. And my mama used to say, somebody got to pay the price. somebody got to pay the price. Now, everybody not willing to pay the price. So everybody not willing to get the outcome, right? And get the blessing. But if you want greatness, it's gonna require a higher level, a higher degree of sacrifice, a higher degree of discipline, sometimes a higher degree of isolation. And letting go and transformation.
Yeah.
Like watching those Creed movies, right? Like he's going after something. He's training while everybody is sleeping. He's getting up, all hours of the night. He's putting his body through intense, performance and the level of training. It was one, I think it was on Creed 3. He's like pulling a truck. He's doing like crazy stuff because his goal is to be the best.
And even taking it back before that with the Rocky films. Spoiler alert, Rocky did not win the first one. It took out to the third one for him to get up there and start actually seeing the fruit of his labor.
Wow.
and stick-to-itiveness and not giving up in that. The good news about the moments where you feel like you're being plucked and stretched and having to let things go is it's not forever, because you are not meant to do this alone.
Yes, and God will send you those people.
He will send you people. Even in those moments of isolation, you may find yourself getting comfort from people you never thought, people who are just there for that season, stepping up to aid you, because you know what I'm saying, you need accountability, maybe you need help, you need support. So sometimes starting over can also feel like getting close to people who may challenge you.
Woo!
Hold you accountable.
Oh, we don't like that.
Yeah.
We want somebody to party with. We don't want somebody that's going.
I don't want to tell you that I want to lose weight and go on a diet, and then next week when you see me at Chick-fil-A for the third time, you bring it up. I don't want to hear that.
We want somebody that's going play with us.
And
we
sometimes
just having a
that
good
ain't,
time.
and sometimes the Lord's like, enough of that.
Enough of that. That's not going to get you where you need to go. You need somebody that's going to iron sharpen iron, that's going to tell you about yourself and say, when you complaining about this and that, and they be like, actually, that's within your control. It's really, you blaming them, but that's really you.
Or you complain a lot without solutions.
Ooh, you talking about this problem, but you ain't talking about no solution.
Man, oh man. But it really is not forever. He's going to give you what you need in the moment. Again, going back to sometimes you just get enough to make it day by day.
Come on.
Sometimes hour by hour, minute by minute, step by step, day by day. For real.
Listen. Because God had to switch them circles up. Because not everybody's going to understand your evolution. When he put you on a new journey, sometimes he got to put new people in your life to help you get there. And that's okay. And I know that's not easy, but starting over can often mean new people, and it can often mean new norms, new habits, new routines. When Michael B. Jordan was in Creed, he had to up his level of training. Yeah. It was new people that they had to bring in to help train him. And he had to show up in a certain way. And so a lot of times, not only do you have to change those norms, but you have to change how you see yourself. Your identity.
For him to start seeing the fruits of his labor, it's going to take some stick-to-itiveness. It's going to take, but really and truthfully, you're not going to be alone.
So I love talking about this, because sometimes when you have to start over, God has to shift your identity. And we see this a lot in the Bible. When God sends people to a new place, he's like, he tells Abraham, listen, I'm going to take you to a new land. I'm going to show you somewhere you haven't been before. I'm going to give you a new inheritance. You know, your people are going to be like the sand of the sea, the stars in the sky. And God does something unique that he tends to do a few times in the Bible, and he changes his name from Abram to Abraham. And that's to give him an identity as a father, even though he wasn't a father. And sometimes God will change your name or change your identity before you even have the fruit of it.
Yeah.
And you're like, God, why are you talking to me like that? I haven't done anything. Like when God calls Gideon a mighty man of valor, he wasn't acting very mighty.
Yeah.
And he wasn't acting very, like, he had a lot of valor. But God, that's what God does. He comes and says, gives you a new identity. And he says, now go and do that thing and be that thing. And so that can be uncomfortable sometimes. But he doesn't want you to identify yourself or define yourself by your past.
And sometimes we create an identity for ourselves.
Yes.
And he has to take you out of that. That's not the identity for you. Your identity has to be rooted in God.
Yes. And I can attest to this. Sometimes in the family system, you are known for a certain thing.
Yeah. For sure.
And sometimes that separation or him calling you away from that system is to redefine you.
Yeah.
Because, you might be the baby sister. And you're the one, the irresponsible one. You're the one that everybody has to check on. And you're the one that they're like, did you check on her? She kind of spacey and, you know, all this other stuff. When God has actually called you to be a leader and to chart new territory. But if everybody around you has this perspective of you, you can get boxed into that identity. And so sometimes God has to call you out of that thing and put you in a new environment to produce another version of you. And so that's just kind of God's process. And you gotta accept that. You don't get to tell God how to be God.
Yeah.
I
don't want to.
You get to obey.
You got that job, Big G.
Big G.
I'm good on that. Good on that. Yeah, starting over is really going to require courage and trust to know, like, this is for your betterment a lot of times. And again, I think I like to look at it as an opportunity to start anew, to start fresh, to really, sometimes, you know, maybe you haven't been able to cultivate that relationship with God yet. This could be the opportunity, like you get plucked out of your group. You have to leave a situation. You have to leave a town.
Yeah.
This can give you the opportunity to really start to cultivate that.
Yeah. And why do you need courage? Because this is new territory for you. A lot of times we like to be the big fish in the small pond. It's like, oh, I know this.
Yeah.
This is familiar to me. I know where to go to get this. I know where to go to produce this. I know how to do this on my own, and I know how to get this done, and I know how to. God is not interested in that. And if you can do it by yourself, what do you need him for? And that is part of you guys developing a relationship and you relying on him. The Bible says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding. We love to lean to our own understanding.
Because we think we got it.
And we it doesn't require faith. You know, it doesn't require the fruit of the Spirit. It doesn't require maturity. We get to be as careless and reckless and immature as we want to and get it done. But when you walking with God, you're gonna have to level up.
Yeah.
He's gonna require more from you. Why? Because he knows what's in you. It's like that coach that push you, right? That make you run that extra mile. And you're like, I can't do it. And they like, yes, you can, and you will do it. And
you will.
And you will do it. But that's not something you would ever do on your own.
Absolutely.
You need somebody to push you. And so that's why God, I love this passage of scripture, like in Joshua 1:8, when they're about to, Israel's about to enter the promised land to Canaan. And God's like, listen, you know, Moses just died. That's got to be scary. Your leader that's been leading you for 40 years, however long he was leading Israel, the children of Israel. he's gone. And now you got to be the leader. And he's probably like, are they going to respect me? Are they going to follow me? Like, how do I lead this nation? Like, this is crazy. And God tells him, like, be strong, be courageous. Don't be afraid. You know, as I was with Moses, I'm going to be with you. I'm not going to fail you. I'm not going to abandon you. And it's going to require more of you, but I will be with you. And that's the thing about walking with God. It's not going to be a comfortable walk in the park. It's going to challenge you in ways that you never knew that you could be challenged. But that's because you were born for a purpose, and not to just live this quote unquote safe. And I want to say that with these quote unquotes, because what you think is safe ain't safe.
Yeah.
The only safe place is with God.
Yeah.
Because this world can make you think it could be one way today and a completely different way tomorrow.
Have we not seen it?
You think your industry is untouchable, and then next week they have a break in technology and that's out. And God was trying to get you out of the industry before the industry went out. You know, and so God has a way of doing things. And so you're to do this, to start over, you're going to have to be courageous.
Yeah.
You're going to have to not be afraid of what people think about you, what people have to say about you, what your family might think about you, what your old friends might think about you. God is calling you to a level of leadership, and that make you look like a square. Or, you know, God is calling you to be more prayerful, or to pray online, or to, you know, talk about God more. And that might make you look, you know, you kind of known for X, Y, Z. And God, like, listen, it's bad out here.
I'm not laughing. It really is bad,
and you worried about what the next Negro think about you. Like, bump all that. You need to be worried about yourself and what God is saying. And maybe you're not a Negro, but I'm just saying what God is saying. We don't discriminate up here, but I'm just saying, what God is doing in your life is going to require you to not be afraid of what people think about you.
Yeah. And that courage and that confidence isn't necessarily coming from you having it all figured out. A lot of times you're not going to get the answers. Joshua had a lot of questions, and really the only thing that God said was, I was going to be with you, just as I was with Moses.
Yeah, and he gave him instructions. He said, listen, meditate the word day and night, and you going to be all right. And you going to
be all right. And we're going to give you the same instruction. Meditate on the word day and night, and you really will be all right. It's really going to come from trusting God, listening to him, and knowing that whatever you feel like he is taking you away from, the other side is so much better. Yes,
I love this. And like, confidence is being built when you actually take a step, not when you are just thinking about taking a step. You know, you got to act. You got to take some serious action. And, you know, you don't know how long you have. If God put an urgency in your spirit, you got to go with it and not wait for the situation to look like it's going to work for you. Sometimes God will tell you to do something crazy and you're like, this don't look like, can I tell you this? It never looks like. It never looks like really the opportune time to obey God. That's what faith is for. Faith, when he says we walk by faith and not by sight, that means you can't, it's never going to look like the opportune situation. Yeah. You have to just move based on what the voice of God and what God said. So that might mean trying new ideas. It might be using new tools. It might mean showing up differently. But if you're in a season of starting over, do not be discouraged, okay? Like, you're going to be okay.
You're going to be okay. You're not losing. You are experiencing some loss, but that does not mean that you're losing your life or that you have lost it. You're just being repositioned a lot of times. And like you said, it's really never going to look like what you think it's going to look like. You just got to get used to that, honestly. You got to let go of the old and trust God with the new. So with him, in the right people, which we are firm believers, as you follow him, he will begin to bring those people into your life, you will succeed.
Yes. So if this episode spoke to you, send this to somebody you know is in a new season of their life and is in a transition. What's our homework?
The homework this week is going to be to define your minimum life. We're gonna strip down to some basics, right? So I want you to outline the 3 most important areas of your life right now. Is it health? Is it wealth? Is it school? Mental stability? And then for each one, write the simplest possible version of success. So an example, if you're working on your health, walk 10 minutes. That's something that you can attainably do. And then I want you to see what the level of success says of what you want to attain. What does it say in the Bible about that? If you are seeking wisdom, what does it say about how to get wisdom? If you're trying to seek monetary gain, if you're trying to get more stable in your life financially, what does the Bible say about finances? How do you get that? If you're seeking mental stability, what does the Bible say about my mind and how do I get my mind right? Do that. Make sure that when you're thinking about these areas, these 3 most important areas, and you're writing out what your vision says, that is in alignment with what the word says. Because that, at the end of the day, that's the vision you need to be focusing on. Okay? So, y'all, that is this week's homework. We're so glad we had this time together again with you. Until next class, y'all. Peace.